Time to pick a fool, pick a fool, something. Oh, this is the part I know. This is the part I know. Oh, you talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I was just over here jamming to one of my favorite songs. Oh, well, you know what? I love those movies, those Shrek movies. What are your favorite movies? Something to think about. Maybe you can leave me a post-it note. But this happens to be one of my favorite problem sets, 4th grade, because guess what? This is problem set 11, and we are finally breaking out into one of the best multiplication strategies ever. It is dun da da da, the area model. And you know what? I really wish someone would have shown me this. Oh, don't forget to put your name on your paper. But I really wish someone would have shown me this strategy when I was a kid, because you know what? Multiplication would have made a lot more sense to me. All right, let's go ahead and read the directions. Solve the following expressions. Remember, expressions. That's a fancy schmancy word for math problem. Solve the following expressions using the standard algorithm, the partial products method, and the area model. So believe it or not, this is asking you to do this problem 3 different ways. So they're giving you some space. You might need to go get a piece of paper and staple it. Who knows? Some people like to write pretty big. I know that my son does. So let's jump in. It's asking you to do standard algorithm. Well, that's what we were doing yesterday. So it looks like this. Make sure I copied down the problem correctly, because you know, sometimes us humans, we don't even write down the problem correctly. 425 times 4. All right, so standard algorithm. I'm going to put that right here. Oh, we talk about it, talk about. Oh, still singing one of my favorite songs, my bad. All right, 5 times 4. Well, 5 times 4 is 20. Do you see how I put my 2 in the tens place? Because really, the 2 is in the tens place. It's not 2, it's 20. Then I'm going to think 2 times 4. Well, that's 8 plus 2 more. That's going to be 8, 9, 10. I'm going to put my 1 up here in the hundreds place. 4 times 4. Not 4 plus 4. 4 times 4. That's 16. Plus 1 more, and that's 17. Interesting. Okay. So basically, what problem set 11 is trying to get you 4th graders to do is to try the multiplication 3 different ways. And then ultimately, you're going to have to make a decision on which strategy do I like the best. What is my go-to strategy going to be? So when I was a little kid, this was my go-to strategy because it's the only one I ever knew. But now I'm thinking this would have been my go-to strategy. So let me show you this. All right, so we've got 425 times 4. So I'm going to put 400. Do you see how they gave you a really big space here? Because that's a big number. 400. Then I've got 20. Go back to your place value. Do you see how everything really is tying into some of the first lessons we were doing here in the 4th grade? So I've got 420, and then I have my 5. All right, so essentially what I have done is taken 425 and wrote it in expanded form. Remember how you're little and you take a word and you do this, cat, k, at. Well, actually, you can do that with numbers too. And it does make your life pretty easy when you can figure out you can separate these parts into your place value. And then 425 times 4. That is a 4 right there. All right, so I'm going to be thinking, well, what is 400 times 4? Well, I know what 4 times 4 is. That's 16, but it's 400 times 4. So that's going to be 1,600. 4 times 20, well, that's going to be 80. And then 4 times 5, well, that's going to be 20. So then if I take all of my partial products and add them up, believe it or not, I better get 1,700. So 4 times 400, we did that. 4 times 20, we did that. 4 times 5, we did that. Okay? So basically this is stretching it out like when you were little. And the kindergarten teacher said, okay, let's stretch out the word mat. At. Let's stretch out the word nap. App. Well, believe it or not, you can do that to numbers too. All right. This is saying the exact same thing. So, ready? 4 plus 20 plus 5. If you remember, that's what we did up here. We stretched it out, and then we multiplied it by 4. All right, so if I go and add up 1,600 plus 80 plus 20. Now remember, these are partial products, so I am going to add them. 0, 8, 9, 10, 7, 1. Well, looky. I indeed do end up with the same product. Product is the answer to a multiplication problem. That's a little subliminal message. Product, the answer to a multiplication problem. All right, so I have gotten this answer twice now. I've gotten this product twice now. So over here, they are asking you to do it the partial product method. Okay, this is the area model. This is the standard, and so let's go ahead and do the partial product. Okay, 425 times 4. Well, 5 times 4 is 20. Then I'm going to put a 0 here because I'm multiplying in the tens place. Well, 20 times 4 is going to be 80. I'm going to put 2 more zeros here because now I'm in the hundreds place. Well, 4 times 4 is 16, but really it's 400 times 4. So I've got 1,600. And lo and behold, looky there. I have ended up with the exact same product 3 different times. All right, so I do want you to do B, and I want you to do C. Flip your paper over. All right, we've got some word problems. Word problems are just real life examples of what you're going to have to do, okay? Let's take a little peeky peek. And believe it or not, it seems like most of you 4th graders are actually doing better on the word problems, probably because they're in real life settings. All right, it says solve using the partial product method. Kayla's school has 258 students. Janet's school has 3 times as many students as Kayla's school. So Kayla goes to a smaller school, Janet goes to a bigger school. All right, so I'm going to draw my tape diagram. Here's Kayla's school, 258. She goes to the smaller school. And then Janet's school, 3 times bigger. 1, 2, 3. All right, so what is the population of Janet's school? So what are you going to have to do here? How many students are in Janet's school? Well, we know how many are in Kayla's school. How many are in Janet's school? So how are you going to take this number and efficiently make it 3 times bigger? All right, this one says model with the tape diagram and solve. Well, hey, we've already been figuring that one out. Are you ready? 4 times as much as 467. So here's 467. 2, 3, 4. Well, how much would all of this be? What will you do? Remember, we are working on multiplication. All right, I've got the sniffles, excuse me. All right, so then we have solve using the standard algorithm, the area model, the distributive property, or the partial products method. Okay, so 4th grade, essentially they just want you to use whatever strategy you want. So let's go back. Do you like this strategy, Do you like this strategy or do you like this strategy? This one is my go-to. But when I was little, it was this one. You pick. All right. So what strategy will you use here? If I go to my next page, what strategy will you use here? I do want you to do this one, okay? All right, this one, let's go ahead and work this one together. A restaurant sells 1,725 pounds of spaghetti and 925 pounds of linguine every month. Linguine is like a different type of pasta. After 9 months, how many pounds of pasta does the restaurant sell? Write your answer as a statement. Remember, a statement means I want you to write in a complete sentence in English. All right, so this is how much, it says after 9 months, how many pounds of pasta? Well, are you ready? I know that they sell this much in spaghetti. That's one of those hard words to spell. And then they sell this much. Ooh, do you see how my numbers aren't really lining up? That's something that we need to start watching too. I really want to make sure that my numbers are lining up. And that kind of reminds me of that strategy that someone in our classroom does, and I really like that. All right, so I'm going to have to go ahead and add this up because I want to find out how much pasta all together. Linguine. Because it says how many pounds of pasta. It doesn't say how many pounds of spaghetti or how many pounds of linguine. It says how many pounds of pasta. So now I've got to add all these up. And then I need to take that number and figure out, well, how many would that be 9 times? How many would that be 9 times? So let's go ahead and add this one up. That's going to be 10, 5, that's going to be 16, and that's going to be 2. All right, so this is how much they sell in 1 month. How much do they sell in 9 months? So I'm going to use my new strategy. 2,600. You see how I'm pulling apart the number that represents how much pasta is sold in 1 month? So then I'm going to have 50 and 0 because there is a 0 here in the ones place. All right, so what would 2,000 times 9 be? What would 600 times 9 be? What would 50 times 9 be? And this one's, well, that one's good. All right, go ahead and do the whole problem set today. Make sure when you're done, you grab the exit ticket. All right, don't mind me. I'm just going to go back to jamming on my song here. Here we go.